we're hoping, and we'll go through this, that our patent pending formulation really changes your productivity capability. And for those of you who aren't in ceramic coatings, we hope this presentation helps inspire you to get into it. So one of the things you'll see is that we're certainly going to be going after the car, the auto enthusiast market. You'll see that in our marketing, as well as our strategies, we're going to be really targeting that car enthusiast. You'll see we'll have a lot of the Porsche, a lot of the higher end cars located in our marketing. And then also, if we go to the next slide, we're going to be fully leveraging our Ferrari Club of North America Association. You may or may not be aware, but 3M is the official sponsor of the Ferrari Club of North America. So with our wraps, paint protection film, and window film, we are their product of choice, and we'll continue to leverage that with coatings. And if we go to the next slide. So Sign to Shine, I'll start talking a little bit about this, and then I'll turn it over to Erwin to go into some greater detail. But as we look at the industry, and we go to the next slide, Erwin, it's a huge industry. We estimate in the US it's $70 million, and it's got over $1 billion in retail revenue. We look at there's about 10,000 ceramic coating shops in the industry. So it's been around in the US for well over a decade, and it's had time to mature. There's about 1.4 million vehicles being coated per year, and the average shop is doing around 11 coated vehicles per month. So again, this gives you really, hopefully by the numbers, good inspiration to tap into that billion in retail revenue if you're not doing ceramic coatings today, because it is a very viable business. We'll talk about profitability later in the presentation, but it's well established, well rooted. The consumer awareness is there. It's a great business to be in, and we actually see it continuing to grow. We go to the next slide. As we looked at the industry and we were developing our product, we really noticed that the industry, for lack of better terms, has become kind of a mess. There's so many offshoot variances of chemistries and multiple chemistries to get a job done that we noticed a lot of it is evolved because the market's been competing against itself, and everyone's trying to one up or create a unique marketing approach to their product portfolio. And I often say, when you look at the ceramic coatings business, it's like walking into a liquor store. There's a million different varieties of the same thing going on. And some of the stuff's unnecessary, some of it is necessary, but arguably it's become complex. We looked at it and said, there's no reason for this to be complex. A lot of these multiple bottles have the same exact formulation in them, or very similar formulations with a different label on it. And we just realized, we want to bring simplicity back to the market. So if we go to the next slide, we brought it back to one formulation, and we have a boost spray, we have a primer for the glass, but our actual core ceramic coating is just one formulation to do multiple substrates. Erwin's going to cover that in a minute. So, the other thing we looked at in the industry was we saw a lot of vehicles having to be held overnight, sometimes up to 2 days in a stall, having IR heat lamp assist for it to dry. And that's because they put a lot of solvent load in their formulations. And we figured there's a better way to do this. So when we built our patent pending formula, we went 100% active ingredients. And what that means for you is that we drastically shorten the dry times. And we believe we can increase productivity 2 to 3x in a ceramic coating shop, because we can coat the vehicle and we can release the vehicle after it's coated in 4 hours. So there's no overnight dry times. There's no heavy solvents. You'll notice that when you open our product, there's no smell. Some of the competitive products, they can't even demonstrate their product at big trade shows like SEMA, because the solvent load in their formulation is so caustic that it's not allowed to be opened indoors in that type of environment. So we've avoided all of that. It's a safer formula as a result. And again, it's 100% active ingredients. So you can release those vehicles within 4 hours instead of, in certain competitors, you have to keep it 1 to 2 days. We talked about simplicity, and that one formulation really does help with dealing with multiple surfaces without having to reduce by reducing mistakes and not having multiple formulas for use. In the future, you will see 3M evolve into going inside the car. Right now, we're just outside of the car with our formulation, but this one formula does glass, paint, plastic trim, wheels, and all your pretty much your exterior surfaces of the vehicle. The consumer brand is known very well. We're going to leverage that aggressively, as I talked earlier, to the car enthusiast. And again, we'll be fully leveraging our Ferrari Club of North America affiliation with it. And then, of course, portfolio selling. Our formulation is designed to work well with our graphics as well as our paint protection film. In fact, if you are a wrap shop, it's such a great product to have as an upsell to the client, because there's no paint reconditioning required because you're applying this to a fresh wrap. It doesn't change the satin or the matte appearance of the wrap, but you're getting all of the protection that you would get from adding a hydrophobic and a slicker coating to that surface to help protect that wrap over its life. Same thing it's doing for paint, it's going to do for the wrap. Next slide, Erwin. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Erwin Everett. He's going to talk a little bit about the sales details and you know, some of the marketing, and we'll get into profitability here soon. So thanks, Erwin, it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Mike, and a great macro overview of the ceramic coating program. It's my absolute pleasure to present the new 3M ceramic coating program. I'm going to review what is a ceramic coating. There is a lot of misinformation in the marketplace about ceramic coatings, so I'm going to go into detail what is actually factual about coatings and what is absolutely false. To all the shop owners and the installers and the detailers that are on the call, what is the value proposition to you? And most importantly, what's the value proposition to the people that come to your shop? We got the features, advantages, and benefits of the program that I'm going to go into detail. And we have pretty cool sales collateral to show you as well. So what is a ceramic coating? Simply, it's a clear layer of protection that you can install on many, many different substrates in a car. A ceramic coating could be made of siloxane, which is what 3M's product is made out of. It's a silicone-based product, but there are so many different chemistries in the marketplace as well. The purpose of the coating, it's all about water beading. Most importantly, water shedding. You want the water to fall off the car, and that's caused by what we call hydrophobicity. And the coating is also going to create an enriched, sustained finish on gloss, matte, and satin, and it has to last a long period of time. The coating is also going to create an incredible wash durability. So it's going to be easy to clean and easy to maintain your car. And when you're driving down the road, or if your car is parked in front of your house, the car has to stay protected against the contaminants and the environment. All these benefits, for ceramic coatings, it creates an excellent benefit for ceramic coatings, all these different purposes. What do customers want? What are their expectations? It's all about the appearance of their car. It's the aesthetics of the car. Does my car look sweet? The ultimate appearance of their car is paramount. And like I mentioned before, the customers, when they're driving down the road, they want their car to be protected against the road salt, the bird splats, the bird droppings, environmental fallout, acid rain, tree sap, you name it. The car has to be protected. That's the requirements from a customer. The thickness of a coating is extremely important for everybody to understand. The thickness of a coating determines the performance of the coating, the efficacy of the coating. And for everyone on this webinar, it manages the expectations of the customers when they walk into your shop. Now, the thickness of a coating we measure in nanometers, so it's really, really small stuff. All coatings on the market measure anywhere between 7 to 10 nanometers. So think of a human hair being about 100 microns. That means a coating is going to measure 1/10,000th the diameter of a human hair. Really, really small stuff when it's laid on the car. So when you're selling ceramic coating to your customers, You got to make sure they're aware of the expectations of the coating. Now, like I said earlier, there's a lot of myths, there's a lot of misinformation about ceramic coatings in the marketplace. One of them is, ceramic coatings are scratch and chip resistant. Absolutely, completely false. Minor scratches from a towel, maybe, but if you have deep scratches, there's absolutely no way a ceramic coating is going to prevent that. The other is you never have to wash your car again. Absolutely false. You have to wash your car to maintain the durability of the coating. So we're going to go over in a little bit 3M's recommendation, what product we prefer you use to maintain the durability of the car when you're washing it. UV resistant, not true. There are no UV inhibitors in ceramic coatings, period. Okay. The next one is it's fireproof. This one kind of gets me a little nervous, gets me scared. We do not recommend that 3M that you put your car on fire. You're going to be completely disappointed. So just don't do it. It is not fireproof. Self-healing. I hear that all the time. There are no self-healing properties in ceramic coating. That's paint protection film. And it is not paint protection film. It's completely two different products, two different purposes. It's not PPF. Lifetime durability. Nothing lasts a lifetime. But however, you can extend the durability of the ceramic coating for many years. And we're going to go over that in detail as well. And the last myth that I think is probably the most important to understand is 9H hardness. You hear that all the time in the marketplace. So I want to spend a little more time on this myth and the misinformation that is spewed out there from other companies. A substrate's hardness is measured by using what's called a pencil hardness scale, okay? And there's many levels of hardness, as well as there's many types of substrates. Some examples of substrates: paint is a substrate. I want to repeat that because it's real important. Paint is a substrate. Steel is a substrate. Glass is a substrate. Okay, so think about the old-fashioned number 2 pencil that's depicted in the middle of the hardness scale. As you move to the right of that number 2, from H to 9H, all the substrates get harder and harder. And there are actually pencils that align with each level of hardness. So you put a pencil in that measuring tool, you roll it across the substrate, and it actually measures the hardness of the substrate. What we did at 3M, we tested 3 different coatings on 3 different substrates. We tested the 3M coating, it's ACT panel MM. We tested G Technique, and we tested Ceramic Pro. And we tested it on the substrate of paint, the substrate of steel, and the substrate of glass, okay? And 3M concluded all 3 substrates, when you put it on paint, the 3M ceramic coating had a 2H. Hopefully you guys can see it here. I know the picture is blocking it, but 2H. The G Technique was 2H. And the almighty Ceramic Pro was H. So the 3M coating was actually twice as hard as Ceramic Pro. But you got to remember, the hardness test measures the substrate that the coating is attached to. Okay, so in this scenario, we attached these 3 coatings to the substrate of paint. Now, when you take these 3 coatings, our coating, G Technique, and Ceramic Pro, and you attach it to steel, it's greater than 9H. You attach it to glass, it's greater than 9H. So my question to the group, a rhetorical question: when was the last time you coated a car without paint? When the cars come to your shop, are they naked? They all have paint on it. So I just want everyone to understand 9H, there is no paint on the planet that is 9H. You're attaching the coating to a substrate. And in our world, it's paint, okay? And if you guys have any questions on that, please, type them in, and Troy will, ask the questions to the group. So let's have some fun. Let's now get into the 3M ceramic coating portfolio. We have 3 products. We have a ceramic coating, a ceramic boost spray, and a glass pretreatment. What's great about our ceramic coating, it's one formula, it's one bottle, and it's going to cover the paint, the glass, PPF, vinyl, wheels, plastic, calipers. Someone called me the other day and said, I put it on headlights. It's one bottle that covers all the multiple surfaces. So it's only one bottle that you have to inventory, one bottle that you have to keep track of the shelf life. Now, talking about the shelf life, it is 16 months is the shelf life when it's closed and it's never been opened. Once you open it and cap it, it becomes 30 days. And a best practice that we were told about the other day is some of the guys are putting it in the refrigerator. So that's a way to extend the shelf life, especially as the weather gets warm here. So again, it's one bottle for all the different surfaces, and that's what is unique about our formulation. Now, what's the value proposition to the car owner? All he or she cares about is that enriched, sustained, high paint, gloss, and shine. They love the wet look, the wet polish look, that low surface energy. Everything feels smooth. Things just fall off the car. So therefore, it's easy to care for, easy to maintain. And like I said, it's an incredible wash durability. It's so easy to wash your car, and it will last a long period of time. And most importantly, resistant to the environment. So all those environmental fallout, the road salt that's thrown down here during the winter months, the car will be protected. That's the value proposition for the car owner. Now, what's the value proposition to you guys on this webinar, to the shop owners, the installers, the detailers? It's a simple coating process. Like we just said, it's one formula for all the different surfaces. It's actually a 1-layer or 2-layer process for maximum durability and performance. Sean is going to go over in a little bit and show you guys how easy it is to apply. Okay, but I want you to look at that second bullet point, 2 to 5 minute open time to level. That's the amount of time the product's going to sit on the paint. And you're going to go around this car so quickly. So to do 1 layer or 1 lap around the car takes 30 minutes to do 1 layer. Okay. And Sean will show you that. And what's great about that is if you do 1 layer, deliver the car in 4 hours. The dry and cure time is quick. If you do 2 layers, it's 30 minutes around the first time. You wait 30 minutes, do 30 minutes for lap number 2, 4 hours, dry and cure time. You deliver the car. Great turnaround, great bay production. You'll make more money with this product over the competition because of that dry and cure time. The 100% active ingredients, it's no carrier solvents, no strong vapors. It's safe for you guys to install. Okay, I was in a shop the other week. The guy's wearing a mask, and it smells like airplane glue. It was really strong. Okay, so it's a low VOC product, 100% active ingredients. Durability claims, there's a 6-month program, 3-year and 5-year program. I'm going to go over that in detail in a couple of slides, but those are the programs, those are the treatment options that we have with our program. This is the bottle. It's a 40 ml bottle. Okay, it comes with an applicator sponge and 8 microfiber bonnet. It's almost like hair nets, and it wraps around the around the sponge. You can get 4 1 layers. Okay, so 4 laps around the car. We think you possibly can get a little more depending on the size of the vehicle, but we're going to stick with 4 1 layers of ceramic coating. The glass pre-treatment, I like to think of this as your primer. So you're going to prime your microfiber, you're going to put it on the windshield, you wait 2 to 5 minutes, then you put down the ceramic coating. Okay, the whole thing takes about 15 minutes. You get 1 year of durability outside of the wiper zone, about 6 to 9 months within the wiper zone, you get intense hydrophobicity, intense water beading, and amazing clarity on the windshield. This is, to me, a great opportunity to, if you don't want to touch paint, you can do windshields all day long, okay? I'm going to go back to this slide here. The ceramic coating, we feel, if you just do windshields, you can get about 20 windshields from that bottle, okay? So just imagine doing a full nose of a car with paint protection film, and then you can upsell to ceramic coating just for the windshield and get maybe another $100, $200, depending on the market. Cost of goods is about $15, okay? If you're doing tint, you're putting CIR or crystalline on the inside of the windshield. Why not put ceramic coating just on the windshield if you don't want to touch the paint? So there's many different ways to sell ceramic coating to your customers. It's not always about the paint. To me, it's always, how are you going to make more money this year than last year, right? And this is a way to get more gross on every single car that you deliver. The boost spray. The boost spray serves two purposes. You know, for the 6-month program, you're just spraying the boost spray on the paint, okay? And you're going to get 6 months of intense hydrophobicity, intense gloss. And also the ceramic boost spray is the way you're going to go from 3 years to 4 years to 5 years. It's an annual boost, which we'll go over in a second. So that's the purpose of the ceramic boost spray. And it looks fantastic on vinyl. This product looks great on vinyl. It gives a great enriched look to the vinyl films. So here are the treatment options. To me, this slide is my sales piece that I use when I present to retail shops as well as car dealerships. This shows everything. So for the basic package, it's a 6-month program just with the boost. It takes about 30 minutes. You wash the car, you go around the car in 30 minutes, and you got 6 months of intense water beading and gloss. It's a great customer retention program. Bring the customers back to your shop as often as possible. If you do a 1-layer program, deluxe, so you go 1 lap around the car, 30 minutes, deliver the car in 4 hours, then you boost in year 2, you boost in year 3, bring the customer back, maybe they'll come back for a tint job, they'll bring a friend with them. You want to bring customers back to your shop. And then the premier program is 2 laps around the car, 2 layers, which is our 5-year program. So you do the ceramic coating today, you boost in year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. To me, this is something that I would hope everybody would print out, laminate it. If you do any car dealership work, this is a great sales menu for the finance managers that are sitting in the box. Quick way to show the treatment options. Mike, if you want to dive into the profits for the installers.
Sure thing. I think the best way to summarize this, as I mentioned earlier, the average shop we know does about 11 ceramic coatings. So the numbers here are all based on doing 5 a month. So you can look at, I mean, the average shop out there is turning multiple 6 figures of profit per year by offering ceramic coatings. And it certainly is a great complement to anybody's portfolio that's in the restyling business, which everybody here is. And you'll see, you know, we have suggested observed retail prices. Suggested is kind of a loose term there because we don't set the retail pricing at 3M. You determine what your market will bear. So we see prices as high as $2,000. We see them as low as, you know, $500 to $600 if there's no paint refinishing involved. So it's totally up to you as a shop what you would charge. But these are some of the observed averages, and as you see, it tables out to multiple treatments, and it all adds up to a 6-figure profit center for your businesses. And it can go into multiple 6 figures depending on your level of engagement and advertisement. So really there, I mean, Erwin, I could turn it back over to you. I mean, the basic thing is just to lay out there in front of everyone and everyone can look at it, and it's going to be a little different for your areas and your shops, but very viable business for sure.
Yeah, and we also have an Excel spreadsheet built for car dealerships. So what we do is with your permission, with you, we go into car dealerships and present a ceramic coating program on your behalf. So we can do that as well. And to me, I always go back to the windshield treatment. To me, I believe if they're coming in for vinyl, they're wrapping a car in vinyl, PPF, if you're just doing tint, this to me is how you're going to get more money on every car. I mean, and people are going to come back every 6 to 9 months, 12 months to have it redone. So I think the windshield treatment is something you should all think about for every single customer that walks in the shop. We have some pretty cool sales collateral. We have brochures, sell sheets, warranty cards, door jams when the car had the ceramic coating installed. We have some digital banners that we're coming out with probably more in June. Things are coming. It's only been 2 weeks since the launch, so things are coming along with our sales collateral. We have SOPs for all, how to apply the product to the vehicles. It's in a PDF. We can send it to you. Sean is going to go through how to apply the ceramic coatings to the paint as well as the windshield. And this is for the glass pre-treatment. And this is for the boost. How do you maintain your car? Well, the first thing is when a customer leaves your shop, we recommend they do not get a car wash for the first 7 days. Just let it sit. Just let it be happy. Obviously, if something falls on the car, if any, dust or, bird droppings, you wipe it off. But we just leave it for 7 days. That's what the application engineers recommend. We recommend when you wash your car to use 3M car wash soap. Okay, it's a mild soap, and it's another great profit center for you guys because when they use up the car wash soap, they're going to come back to you. Okay, don't go through those car washes with the tunnels, with all the stuff flapping and hitting your car. We do not recommend that. We recommend hand washing with a mitt, a foam cannon. You can use a pressure washer, nothing more than 1800 PSI. Do not wax or polish your car. Not necessary. Matter of fact, it would destroy the integrity of the durability of the coating. So you do not have to wax or polish your car when you use 3M ceramic coatings. So it's very simple, easy way to maintain your car. This is the warranty card. So we have those. 5-year warranty on yellowing, cracking, flaking, and peeling. And once we get set up with our e-warranty site, we have it with paint protection film and tint. We are going to have it with ceramic coatings. Once that happens, we will be connected with Carfax. So obviously that adds more value when the consumer sells their car down the road. But that's going to happen pretty soon, but it's not active yet. That's my story. If you guys have any questions, we can maybe take some questions now if it's up to Troy, or I could just hand it over to Sean Hobson, who is our 3M national trainer for ceramic coatings, paint correction, paint protection film, window tint, and on the flat side, all the flat residential, commercial, architectural film. So he's a busy man. He's well skilled. And if you want anyone to get trained on any of these things, Sean is your guy. So Sean, I will hand it over to you.
All right. Hi, everybody. It's nice to be with you this morning. I see a lot of old friends on the participants list, so I know a lot of you already, and it's good to have you back. So Erwin and Mike have covered a few of the details already about the actual application of this process for the 3M ceramic coatings. I'm going to show you how easy that is. A bit, again, one of the main advantages here is short flash time as well as short cure times. So the kit comes just like that. Everything is in there that's needed. And I'll open it up for you and show you the applicator pad. So we have the 3M applicator pad and then the bonnet that goes on the pad. So it's a pretty easy system to use. Kits are small, they're easy to store. And we also want to keep in mind that surface prep is all important. So we're kind of picking this up at the point where which you've already performed any necessary paint correction that would have been required. So that was already touched on. From there on, this is a fairly easy process. So I'm going to switch camera views so you can see a better shot of the paint I'm going to be working on. I'm going to show you the application both to a painted surface, to a glass surface, and then also a matte vinyl, so that you can see how well it blends with our matte finishes. So I'm going to switch over to a different camera view here. And so, assuming that you've already done your paint correction, I'm going to pick it up with just prepping for the ceramic coating now. And all that is going to require is a quick wipe down with some isopropyl and water alcohol mix. So I'm just going to spray a little on the surface there and do a quick wipe down. This is just going to get off any residue left over from your paint correction. So next I'm going to switch to the applicator, and I'll show you how to put the bonnet on that. So the applicator has a textured surface that is non-porous. So anything on the bonnet will not soak through that non-porous surface. So we're going to take the applicator pad, it's inside out right now, so I'll just put it on top of it like that. And you can very easily just wrap it right around the applicator block. So this is a brand new applicator. So your first step would be to prime this with your initial drops of ceramic coating. I'll get the bottle out. And you already saw an image of the bottle. So we need to prime or load the applicator block with our first dose, which is going to be 15 to 18 drops. And then that is easy to do because we have a special tip on the bottle to allow it to drop appropriately. So I've loaded the pad, and then the surface we want to cover roughly about a 2 to 3 square foot area. So you may, on some small cars, be able to do a half of a hood at a time. This car has a fairly big hood, so we'll do just maybe a quarter of that. I'm going to start the applicator, and I'm just going to make rows, and you'll see some of the tiger striping there that occurs as it's put on. We want to overlap those strokes. And I'm going to do this in a north-south, east-west, and then a north-south pass. And I'm not going to add any material to the block. I'm going to continue to go back over this surface with those 3 different passes. And as you do this, you're starting to see the stripes blend in better, showing you're getting thorough coverage. So I'll make my 3rd pass now. And by this 3rd pass, it's almost totally blended. You hardly see any material as far as striping on the car at this point. All right, so at this point, that starts the clock. At least 2 minutes we want to see pass in between this application and then the leveling process. So when we talk about leveling, a lot of you are familiar with applications of other ceramic coatings, and we're talking about the wipe-off portion. So if we're thinking of this as a normal wax, we've already applied the wax, and then we're doing the wax-off section. So that would be our 2nd step. The goal here, again, is to get the surface completely even and level so that everything blends. What we're trying to avoid is high spots. High spots are areas where we didn't quite level it effectively. We didn't wipe it down effectively, possibly. or where we joined two sections of the coating. If those high spots occur, you'll be able to see that because it'll look like dull spots or hazy areas. And the nice thing about our coating is because of the way it cures, you can easily correct any high spots fairly quickly. One of the advantages here is within that 4-hour cure time, the total cure time, if you come back and you notice a high spot that you missed earlier, you can actually still correct it. And the way you can do that is you could just try to level it again with a clean microfiber, or just use some isopropyl alcohol, straight alcohol. I actually used 70% the other day, and it took that section off. I did a section right in the middle of the hood that had a high spot, stripped it with alcohol, reapplied the coating just in that spot, and we were able to blend the whole area. So it works pretty effectively there if you do have to remove and start over a section. So I'm going to take my microfiber cloth and just turn in my corners so that the rough edges of the rag aren't exposed, and proceed to level. So it's just a quick wipe down. You don't have to use a lot of force here, but you just want to thoroughly cover the entire area. And this is a completely clean microfiber, one that hasn't been used. So I'm not applying much pressure. And now I'm just going to look at the panel from different angles and look at it in the light of the shop and see if I'm noticing any uneven spots, or what we can call high spots, that would need to be hit again. If I see that right now, very easy to fix. You could switch your microfiber to a clean one because it will pick up some residue on the rag. So you replace that and just do it again. More than likely, you're going to be able to fix it right now. So at this point, that section is done, and I can move on to the next section of the hood and continue on around the car. The reality is, once I've applied that coating to this surface and I'm waiting for it to dwell during that dwell time, I can actually go on to my next section and apply that, and then come back, give it all that five-minute max splash time. I could wipe down this entire half of the hood at one time. All right, so that's the application to paint. You can see it creates a nice high gloss, as well as super hydrophobicity at this point. Now, I want to show you the application on a matte vinyl. I'm just going to change our view a little bit here. So we have some matte vinyl already installed on the paint. And at this point, I'm already using an applicator pad that has been loaded previously on the last one that you saw. So at this point, I only have to apply about 8 or 9 drops to continue going on. So I'll just do that to this pad now. About 8 or 9 drops will do it. Got my 8 or 9 drops. I'm going to go ahead and I'll just do a portion of this black matte vinyl so that you can see how well the material blends on this surface. Now, one of the changes here is when you're doing it on a matte vinyl surface or any matte surface, you now want to switch to only doing about 1 square foot at a time. So on standard gloss paint, 2 to 3 square feet is fine. But on a matte finish, we're going to stick with about 1 square foot at a time. And I'll make my third pass there. And so once again, we're going to let that dwell for the 2 to 5 minutes before we do the leveling. So this is untreated. This would be the ceramic treated portion. Now, I did want to also mention something really important to keep in mind is just because we have some flexible flash times, we don't necessarily want to just walk away or get involved in another project thinking we can come back and take care of it. On just plain gloss paint, you may have some flexibility there. Like I said, if you need to wipe down and strip off what you just put on, within that 2 to 4 hour period, you can use straight alcohol and strip it off. This is going to be more challenging on the vinyl. And one of the things to consider is if you've reached that 4 hour cure time, the material hardens over time. It's like other adhesives that we use. Once it's reached its peak cure point, there is no wiping it down with alcohol to strip it off. You are going to have to abrade it with some sort of DA and polish or compound. That's okay on paint, but of course on vinyl, there's the high likelihood is that would destroy the vinyl. So you're going to be replacing that vinyl if you wait too long before you try leveling this material. So just stick within the time frame and everything should be fine. And you'll see in just a few seconds here how well this blends. So once again, I'm just going to take my microfiber, turn in my corners, and proceed to level. And again, I'm using a fresh microfiber. All right. So again, I'm going to look in different angles of the light, trying to look at my shop lights. I look around, do I see any areas that look like there's still some stripes remaining, or an area that just looks uneven? That's what I want to address right now. Grab a different microfiber cloth and just redo the leveling portion there. So you see it really blends well. There is a slight difference in appearance, but I would call the ceramic coated area a deeper, richer look, but it's very, very slight. Nothing that's going to be drastic by any means. And in fact, I think it definitely enhances the vinyl if it does anything. Of course, you're not going to be doing half of a panel anyway. So the only other thing I wanted to demo for you is the application to glass. I'm going to switch back to a different view here. So glass is a little bit different because of the texture of the surface. As you know, glass is super slick, non-porous, and our ceramic material needs something a little bit porous to adhere to. So we're going to prep it with the activator, or what's called the glass pre-treatment. So you probably already saw that on the slide that Erwin and Mike showed you. The pre-treatment, you might liken it to Primer 94, something that's going to enhance the adhesion surface so that what we're going to apply will adhere, will it bond, and do so effectively. So again, a fresh microfiber for the glass. In this case, what we're going to do is I'm going to spray the glass pre-treatment right on the glass, as well as load the rag, prime that with the glass pre-treatment. And the key here is wipe everything in one direction. With windshields, it's recommended to do half the windshield at a time, as opposed to the entire thing. So I'll go ahead and spray the glass pre-treatment right on the glass. And now I'm going to load my rag with it. And I'm going to wipe down in one direction to evenly distribute it all over the glass surface. All right, and then there is no dwell time here with the activator or the glass pre-treatment. So we want to wipe down right away to get any residue left over off. So it's an immediate wipe down. This is just with the pre-treatment. So once the activator is on, pre-treatment is on, I can go right back to the ceramic coating. And again, I'm using a pad that is all ready to prime. So we're going to continue to use the same bottle, and I'll apply the 8 or 9 more drops. And I'm ready to do the same process. North, south, east, west. And again, don't rush through this. I'm going to make sure your applicator stays in full contact with the surface the entire time so that nothing gets skipped. Now, I only pre-treated half this windshield before I put this on. If you were doing the entire windshield, it would be good to do the entire pre-treatment on both sides of the windshield and then come back and do your ceramic application. And so those stripes are starting to even out nicely. And that's important on glass because you're going to be looking through that, so you don't want to see an uneven distribution of the material. And once again, I'm now going to switch to completely clean microfiber. Let that dwell, just like we did the other surfaces, 2 to 5 minutes, minimum of 2, maximum of 5. If it goes past the 5 minutes, it's not super critical. But you do want to keep an eye on things. You should still be able to level and wipe down even after 5 minutes. And then the worst case scenario is if you need to restart, you can always go back to stripping it down with straight isopropyl alcohol. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and level. It's a clean microfiber. And just a note about that, it is not recommended that you wash or reuse the same microfibers. They're fairly inexpensive, and if any of that material residue stays in the microfiber, it could be a problem even after washing. I'm just going to flip that over and level it again. You can still see a little bit of haze. Now I'm just going to hit that again. And again, not a lot of pressure. It's nice and even. And on glass, it's pretty easy to see if you're missing anything or if there's any hazy areas. So there you go. That's all the surfaces. You probably picked up in the original discussion that in addition to what we've just demonstrated, this can go on exterior plastics, exterior vinyl parts on the car, and of course any painted surface, including wheels, the actual wheel, not the tire. It's not recommended for tires, or brake calipers. Right now, it has not been approved for interior application, but they are working on that So hopefully we'll hear something on interiors in the near future. So that's all I had as far as application. I don't know, Troy, were there any questions? Okay.
Good.
All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Nick Molnar of NM Tints. Nick.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sean, for that awesome demonstration on ceramic coatings. Right now, we are standing here in our 3M Pro Shop, NM Tints. I am the CEO and owner of this company. And today, I would like to talk about a few topics here, not to go off, but where this company started and how it got to a point of becoming a pro shop. So we started this company about 5 years ago in my parents' driveway, and learning from experiences of interacting with customers, working on vehicles, I learned the hard way how to advance our company to a point of perfection. Today, we do so many things to make the job come out as good as possible. We demonstrate on a level of professionalism with the customers in the customer service department, doing emails online, and even working on cars. As a pro shop, there's 3 main points I'd like to hit to become a pro shop. You'd have to have great marketing skills, sales, and the customer experience. What I mean by customer experience is when a customer joins us in our shop, we already let them know that this is a pro shop by showing them that we have pro shop lettering on our walls. All of our uniforms will say pro shop. And right away, they know that this is not your normal tinting facility. We started off by doing window tinting, and then we started doing paint protections. Then from paint protections, we went to vinyl wrap. And then from vinyl wrap, we went into caliper paint, powder coating. Now we're doing ceramic coatings. And today, I would like to show everybody here just how far we have gone with our inventory here on the wall. There's a lot of product here. And in about a 2-month period, I know that we're gonna move all this product out, and it's gonna be all new boxes replenished on the wall, which is pretty awesome. Now, with sales, as a pro shop, we have seen that our prices are firm with the customers. It should always be a firm price, but we've noticed that when you have the standard of a pro shop, there is no negotiating. They already know that when they are in here, they are getting the best of the best. Our ceramic tint is our most popular choice. We offer crystalline, ceramic, and obsidian. Selling ceramic has definitely shown a lot in numbers, and it's even shown a difference with the customer satisfaction. We've had a lot of positive feedback from this. In sales, we've also seen a higher volume as a pro shop. We've only been a pro shop for about 5 months. In the 5 months that we've been here as a pro shop, we have seen the numbers double from the year before, which is a huge increase, even during a pandemic. And also marketing as a pro shop, you start to see that branding, our content has been much better than before. We show on social media platforms that we're pro shop, our website. Anywhere that we can provide the customer that we are a pro shop, we have made it known. And it has made a huge impact. We also use the PSC system. And that is another thing that not a lot of shops will do, but we don't cut on cars. And that is what I mean by installation and being on a professional level that makes us a pro shop. Right here, we have a Subaru Impreza. It's going to be getting ceramic tint. Most of the cars that come in here get ceramic tint, which is a pretty awesome thing. I would like to have my marketing executive here, Colin White, speak a little bit about what he has done in our business as a marketing director and using the advantage of being a pro shop to demonstrate a different level of professionalism. Can you say a little bit today about how it's been different before a pro shop to becoming a pro shop today?
Well, I mean, if we go back to when we first started as a business back in like 2017, closer, good. I think in terms of marketing and branding for this business, being with 3M, just the brand alone, 3M puts us on a different pedestal because everyone can associate 3M with their daily lives. When we look at competitors' brands and using their products, they are not as well known. When it comes to 3M, now when you add the pro shop into it and you can explain to clients on a daily basis what pro shop means, it's like a light bulb goes off in their head and the sales become a lot easier from my end. The marketing becomes a lot easier on my end. Basically, my job becomes a lot easier because I can just push pro shop onto our clients and they love the idea of it. They love what it means for our brand. They love what it means for the benefits that they get from our business in terms of us just being a pro shop, along with just the benefits that we receive from Troy, from Jimmy, from Erwin, from everyone at 3M for marketing, all the apparel, all the goodies that they give us. It just makes my job as a director of marketing here a lot easier, a lot better. And that then transitions into sales, that transitions into customer experience. And overall, we profit more, like Nick said. We've already doubled what we made last year, which puts us in a position to make over 4 times what we made last year. In terms of finances, that's a lot. And that's something that we're proud of. And I think that's something that 3M is proud of. And we appreciate everything that they do for us and for giving us the opportunity to speak on this matter today.
What I'd like to explain with everyone today is that when I started my company, I really started from the bottom. And when you work your way up, you really can see the difference of how using 3M products helps the company. It helps the company because it's a name that is widely recognized. And you also give the customers that walk in through this door that different level of satisfaction that a product that they are getting is going to last them. Now, before this 5-month period where we were not a pro shop, I will say that I can speak on the behalf of many dealers out there looking to become a pro shop and what it takes to become one. And I can say what the differences are. The pros of being a pro shop today are definitely worth it. Now, it's very hard to become a pro shop. There's a lot of steps that you need to take. And I know that when you do this higher level, you demonstrate this higher level of satisfaction with customers, with serving the needs of everyone on your social media platforms. When you're looking for selling higher quality films, you have to identify all of the areas of the business that need to be changed, that need to be upgraded, that need to become better. Now, today, I'm standing here in a pro shop, and if it wasn't for the help that I've had from day one, my friend Colin here, when we first decided to start this company and he was doing all the marketing for me, it's shown that marketing is a huge part of this operation. And you can definitely run a business in a garage at your home. But when you decide to get to the level of opening up a bigger shop, it definitely adds more standards, a higher standard of quality tint and quality that you provide for the customers. They don't want to go to your house, or they don't want to go to a shop in the middle of the woods with no sign. You want to show them exposure and definitely provide them with the best of the best quality tint that you can possibly give them. So with that said, I know that there's a lot of dealers right now looking to see what it does, like what they have to do to become a pro shop. And I will say that when you are trying to become a pro shop, you need to figure out a way to increase your sales and keep that quality as high as possible on the installation side of things. So without further ado, I would like to finish this off today by handing this over to Mike Beaver, who's going to speak more on the topic of ceramic coatings. Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Nick, and congratulations on all your success and for also staying hungry from the humble beginnings to where you are now. And keep that hunger alive, man, because it'll keep you growing. So, yeah, right now I'm honored. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm honored to talk about our dealer awards. So I'm happy to speak about our 2020 dealer awards and make the announcements. And congratulations to all the recipients, as well as we'll looking forward to who's going to become the award winners in 2021. We've got 3 categories. We have New Dealer of the Year Award, we have Auto Market Leadership Award, and we have Pro Shop Excellence Award. So without further ado, I'll start us off with the new Automotive Dealer Award recipients. And for the Midwest, we have J&J Window Tinting and Paint Protection. And I want to congratulate James and Jessica Ewan for their award. And then we have Easy Tint from the Mid-Atlantic, and want to congratulate the team there. We also have Nick, your team for the Northeast. We have you there as the New Dealer of the Year Award recipient, so congratulations to you and your team. Moving on to the Auto Market Leadership Award, we have Eclipse Window Tinting in the Midwest. We have WAO Garage, Mid-Atlantic, and Precision Window Tint and Wraps for the Northeast. And our Pro Shop Excellence Award recipients, we have Pinnacle Performance in the Northeast, Tint Pro for Mid-Atlantic, and we have Pelicar Window Tinting for the Northeast. So congratulations to our 2020 award winners, and we look forward to the recipients of the 2021 this year. And with that, Troy, I want to turn it over to you to wrap us up.
Thanks, Mike. So I just want to share with everyone next week's schedule. Okay. So next week we have Felix Lin leading off at 10 a.m. Felix is going to review digital marketing. Felix is a pro shop, another growth dealer. Then we'll be followed by Detail Pro POS. We're going to be joined by the CEO of the company, who's going to share with us the Detail Pro system. So we thought that could be beneficial. We'll also be joined by Kim Kostrid from 3M, along with Neil Gardner of the Ferrari Club of America, who's going to explain the relationship between 3M and the Ferrari Club and how we can capitalize on that with all of you as our dealers, so we can really solidify that partnership. We've done a lot of events and we can look to localize events to your specific shop. So we're going to review that. And then from 11 to 11:30, we're going to be joined by Tim Boxes of 3M Company, who will review the 3M Wrap Series 2080. Okay. So for those of you who have signed up for that, thank you. Hopefully we'll look to see you then next Thursday to cover that. And finally, we'd like to say thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks to all our presenters. Thanks to Nick Molnar and Colin from NM Tints. Thanks to Mike Beaver, Irvin Everett, and our own Sean Hobson. And on behalf of the team here at EPD, all of our reps, we say thank you for taking the time today, and we look forward to seeing you soon and certainly next Thursday. So thanks, guys. Enjoy your day.